a sneak peek at pieces of the next Prime Access? Is that Atlas and DevQ Prime?
Hey, what's up, my succulent little stone fruits? This is Rob from A Gay Guy Plays, and I do understand that stone fruits are more a category of fruits rather than a singular fruit. However, with the reveal of Atlas Prime, I figured that it was more than appropriate. Regardless, we are back with another installment of the Weekly Nightwave, the series where we take a look at this week's acts and find the most efficient or most entertaining way to take them on. Now, unfortunately, we do not have a Warframe of the week, and that's mainly because of the fact that I have lost my life to Borderlands 3. Legitimately, I've become obsessed. The day that I got my hands on it, I was playing it for like 11 hours straight on stream, and then like I did another sneaky hour off stream, and then I was playing a quest that was so funny that I felt really guilty that I didn't share with everybody on stream. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to stream the entire thing. So I did another like 7+ hours yesterday. I did another 7 hours like this morning, and I'll probably be doing more after I end up uploading this video because the storyline is so freaking good. The game is absolutely amazing. Regardless, that's me droning on about that when we should actually be talking about things along the lines of the trailer that was shown at, I wanted to say, Gamescom Japan 10.0 VIP? Listen, it's just word soup right now, but you know what I'm talking about. So we'll be taking a look at that after this. But before we do, let's go ahead and see what we've got in this week. This one's actually pretty easy so far. We've got Deep Freeze, which is kill 150 enemies with cold damage. Glider, kill 20 enemies while in gliding. Kleptomaniac, open 20 lockers. Invader, complete 9 invasion missions of any type. Not a warning shot, kill 500 enemies. Rescuer, complete 3 rescue missions. Sortie Specialist, complete 1 sortie. Venus Miner, kill 6, oh my god, kill 6 rare gems. My mind is in Borderlands and I'm just ready to murder and punch everything. Then we have Ascendant, complete 4 Halls of Ascension missions on Lua, or Halls of Ascensions in Lua. Then we have Defense, complete a defense mission reaching at least wave 20, which in my brain I'm like, you know, we have Ascendant, we have Venus Miner, we have Sortie Specialist, and this is just defense. And it's the elite mission. But listen, not everything can be perfect, right? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of these you could actually do straight up on defense. You could do defense with all of the combat stuff, like Deep Freeze, Glider, and then not a warning shot. But maybe if you want to combine things, because last week when we were taking a look at them, some people were actually giving me multiple ways to take on some of the elemental ones. So you could do your daily and just go ahead and grab a Frost and just freeze everything to death. Or maybe potentially use Goss and go ahead and freeze everything in your waves as well. So that can actually work out really well if you're trying to do multiple at once. Now, as you guys know, when it comes down to invasion missions are actually pretty gosh darn easy. You can go ahead and pick things like Exterminate, where you can do your get 500 kills, and then you can go ahead and knock those out. Assassinate is really good and Capture is really good as well to get them done very quickly. Now, unfortunately, I was going to say that you could probably overlap a little bit with the invasion missions and rescues, but off of the top of my head, I don't really know if they overlap much. If they do, you can leave that down in the comments, but I'm very curious. Is there any more hated mission that you guys have than Lua rescues? Because Lua rescues are pretty atrocious. I was gonna layer Rescuer with the Halls of Ascension because I figured that that's a way that you could kind of double dip, but really? I think that that is potentially one of the most hated mission types out there. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything more frustrating than that. But anyway, that's gonna about do it for that. Everything else is pretty simple. You can complete your sortie today if you haven't done it already. So for everybody who slacked and didn't knock it out this morning, good for you. Regardless, you do have your opportunity to do it tomorrow. So that's gonna be it when it comes to this. The only thing else that I'm curious about is how much longer do you think it's gonna be going? Because we do have one last act, and while I feel a little bit disconnected from Warframe at the moment, I am really curious to see how Emissary ends. I mean, to be honest with you, Wolf of Saturn 6 was absolutely fantastic, and the Emissary is actually a really great storyline so far as well. But they did say that there's still gonna be more time to complete it, so maybe this act is going to go on for a little bit longer. Regardless, let me know how you want it to end down in the comments below, and let's go ahead and move on to some juicier bits. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of this and keep that on in the background. Now, as you can see, what we've actually got is a trailer from the Tenno VIP thing that happened in Gamescom Japan. Is it Gamescom Japan? It's something like that. I'll actually go ahead and leave a link down in the description below that has a link. I'm tired. It's been a long day. To the original place that I found this video. I don't know if they got this footage from somewhere else, but as you can see, this is, you know, crystal clear footage. Now, for the most part of this video, they were just talking about Empyrean and how they are going to be releasing Empyrean this year. Of course, there is no specific date. However, I'm very, very curious, because I heard a lot of things from people saying that, you know, we'll get a taste of it this year, but it's not necessarily going to be fully fledged this year. Now, in the trailer itself, they did say month after month they were going to be releasing new content for Empyrean. Somebody else had spoken to me and said that they're like, oh, they're releasing monthly content. I was like, I think that might have been a misunderstanding here. However, if you guys have any kind of words that have been there at the Tenno VIP or have some more insight on exactly what's going on with that, let me know as well. But what I've got right now is the trailer. And they go into better explanation of what's going on with Empyrean. Nothing really lore-wise, nothing new that we've heard, but I think it's nice and concise. So if you guys are curious, make sure you go ahead and check out that video where you can find the original voiceover and everything for what that trailer is saying. But basically, it's gonna be rolling out content. They said that it's gonna go ahead and start in your dojo, so that means that we'll be able to build the room first, then we'll be able to build our ships, then when everything finally launches, we'll be able to get our hands on that and be prepared to kind of set sail on Empyrean. They went into the systems a little bit more, which obviously is nothing new, but they did go ahead and show us a little bit of a teaser, which included Atlas Prime as well as Death Cube Prime, and if you look closely, it looked like he was wielding the Tekko Prime as well. Now, when it comes down to Atlas, I'm torn. I don't necessarily hate the model that they've got going on him. It almost looks like he's got more cloth texture like on the rest of his body. And I didn't hate it, but I also didn't necessarily love it. He looks kind of cool. He looks kind of different. I'm like, a part of me is like, what really could you do that different with Atlas Prime to make him look less like a rock? But that's what he is. The Tekko Prime did look quite pretty, and it also showed off the fact that they were going to have a SANDR come with it. Now, it had some weird dangly bits on the back that kind of look like cords, but in like DE fashion, this is, I think, my biggest frustration when it comes to like DE SANDRs, is there's a part where I'm like, oh, you could stop right here and it would be really cool, because it almost looked like it had some kind of like, I don't want to say chain link, but almost like metallic half rings across the back. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting feature that they haven't really gone into before. I really like that. But then it had those weird dangly floppy bits that I'm not super duper fond of. But of course, we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at that when it actually launches. And then in addition to that, they did show off Death Cube Prime. And Death Cube had these weird little kind of like wings on the back. I'm almost going to assume that it's going to be another set of Sentinel accessories so that you guys can go ahead and dress it up. Now, unfortunately for me, I've never been a fan of Death Cube. I know that some people can use him to generate some energy orbs, which is kind of a cool thing if you guys have never tried that before. But, you know, that's another way. And it's also another cool way to kind of like set off your arcane energizers, so you can have like a nice little Death Cube arcane energize combo going on. So that's definitely interesting. But Editing Rob here chiming in real quick because I forgot to mention the fact that they also kind of gave us a sneak peek of the Equinox Deluxe skin, which, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't hate, but I don't necessarily love yet. I'm gonna give them a little bit of a chance on this one because I'm assuming that it's not 100% polished, so that's why they gave us just a little bit of a glimpse on it in this one clip. They didn't show it anywhere else. They were just like, here's a little peek, sneaking that in for you, bud. And I don't think it looks as bad as it did when it was just very, very static. However, again, the textures I don't 100% love. But, of course, like I was saying with Atlas Prime, we'll take a closer look on it when it actually launches. Regardless, let me go ahead and toss it back to Pastor Rob. Boop! for me, if I'm gonna be honest with you, Techo Prime never really appealed to me. I don't really like the fisting weapons too much. Atlas, listen, I think Atlas is extremely underrated, and I do enjoy him a lot, but I'm not super duper jazzed. And then of course Death Cube Prime, I don't use Sentinels at all. I think that they're just super duper not as appealing as a Kavat. I guess there's no better phrase for it than just like, I just find them ugly and squish babies. I mean, give them a nice little hug every now and then, but I don't think that they're anything that necessarily makes me interested in them. So I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit of disappointment. And as of late, I don't know, that's kind of been my mentality. I don't necessarily want to like berate you guys anymore with it, but I feel like the fact that, you know, Kuva Disruption doesn't give enough Kuva but is more difficult, even though it's a more entertaining game mode, kind of disappointed me. The way that they recently handled the new Loki Tenogen that's actually coming out, that really disappointed me. The way that they handled arbitrations really disappointed me. And then the fact that they're releasing, you know, Atlas. I mean, Atlas is technically the next one. Well, Atlas would have been in succession before Wukong. But, you know, I was thinking that they were going to go into, like, the Chinese release schedule, which would have put Wukong, Neja, then Atlas in the future. But then they're releasing this one, and I'm like, didn't rope me in with Atlas either. Just another kind of layer of disappointment. Even though, don't get me wrong, I do like Atlas as a Warframe. I just kind of feel like Warframe's been missing a lot lately. And a part of me is like, all right, be careful, because we have Borderlands 3 releasing now. We also have, what else is there? We also have Iceborne coming up. Actually, I think Iceborne's already launched for consoles. We've got Destiny 2 going free to play. Coming up soon, I believe it's in October. I don't know if they pushed it back any further than that. So there's a lot of things for Warframe to compete against. So I'm just crossing my fingers that they really knock it out of the park with Empyrean. But so far, I've just been on a kind of like, wah, wah, wah. That's kind of like, I feel like the tone that I've been having with them. But I hope, I'm crossing my fingers that they can all pull it out of the mud, because legitimately that's where I feel like their releases have been as of late. Regardless, I want to know how you guys feel about this, and actually more specifically, let me know if there are any other games that you're super duper excited about. I did run a poll on the community tab, and it seemed like half of the people that voted absolutely love Borderlands 3, so I don't know, maybe there are other games that you guys want me to check out as well, even if it's just an on-stream basis, or if it's just something to talk about in the community tab. Toss that down in the comments below, and that's gonna do it for me for now. Be sure to check out that other video that I've linked down in the description box. Give them a little bit of love. Again, I don't know where they got it originally, but that's where I ended up finding the 4K version, so thank them for that. Give them some thumbs up. But that's gonna do it for me for now. I've got more lands to be hunting on the borders, and more fisting to be doing, because, you know, hashtag Team Amara is the only team that matters. I will see you guys again next time. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. With a total of 8 hands, 2 of your own, and 6 mystical ones. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.